Okay, confidence interval for mean when sigma is unknown. So you have only two types of confidence interval, which is sigma known yang last week lesson. This week is sigma unknown. Sigma unknown means what? You tak tahu value of the population standard deviation. Okay. So what is the difference? Before this, you are using Z as your error formula. But this time, you are using T. Which is your T table. Yang lepas Z table tu. Okay. So kita akan guna T table hari ni. So the difference is by using T, and then before this your sigma is known. So you are using population standard deviation value. But this time you use S. What is S? Sample standard deviation. Your project yang you kira tu adalah S. Okay, bukan sigma So that is S. This is the formula. Formula sama je, cuma notation is different. Okay. And then to use T, cuba tengok table T dekat page number 433 tu. The first column tu dia ada apa? DF. DF is stand for degree of freedom. Okay, you ada extra value. Degree of freedom, how to find degree of freedom? N minus 1. Total sample minus by 1. So you need that two value, degree of freedom dengan probability untuk cari value from T table. Okay, nanti kita tengok the example. Okay, this is the concept part also, which is kalau question us, how can you, what happened to your confidence interval if you increase the error, contohnya. Okay, confidence interval ni is, this is the distance of the confidence interval. You kena tahu the distance is daripada the lower limit to the upper limit. So, contoh kalau soalan tanya, how can you increase the confidence interval? By increasing the error. So all these point tu actually come from the formula. Kalau you nak increasekan CI, your T ni will be increasing. So apa jadi kalau T increase? So error pun kena increase also. But what happened to your N? N you have to decrease. Okay. Ni Madam dah highlightkan the points. Tapi the points tu you can actually find from the formula given. Okay, boleh? So later kita akan discuss the concept kalau ada soalan. Okay, kita pergi example 2 dulu. Sebab example 1 ni panjang. Kita yang pergi yang the simplest one. Yang simple example 2 and 3. A survey was done to find the average time of arrival to class for engineering student during SEM 3 2019-2020. Lama dah kan? Berapa umur you all ni? 2019? Form 1? Baru masuk sekolah menengah? Tak masuk lagi? Tahun lompat? From a random sample of, okay, tengok apa yang question give you the value. Sample of 30. It was found that the average time is negative 0.1 minute with the standard deviation 7.1 minutes. So bila baca soalan tu, you kena identify the given standard deviation tu adalah from population ataupun from sample. Okay, how can you identify? Contoh dalam this question dibagi from a random sample of 30. It was found that the average is negative 0.1. So what is the notation of negative 0.1 tu? X bar, yes. Sample size, sample size pula. Sample mean. X bar is negative 0.1 with the standard deviation 7.1. So what is the notation for 7.1? S. Before this, macam mana nak identify sebelum ni? Sigma, dia bagi apa word dia? Yang sebelum ni, ingat lagi tak? Yang minggu lepas punya. Macam mana nak tahu dia adalah sigma, bukan S? Ada given to you, given the population standard deviation is berapa? Clearly stated. Ataupun, from the past studies, the standard deviation was berapa? Kalau from the past study, from the previous research, tu semua population. Bukan your current research. Okay, boleh? Sebab nanti dalam review you akan confuse. Yang ni guna S ke guna T. Sebab yang ni senang, sebab semua example ni dia fall under subtopic unknown. So you akan guna T je lah semua tanpa fikir T ke Z kan. Review nanti kena fikir yang mana satu Z, yang mana satu T. Okay. So kena identify the given this one is actually comes from the sample of the T. So this is S. Okay. So you don't know the sigma value. That's why using T table. Construct a 90% confidence interval for the true average time of arrival to class. Okay. First, write the formula. 90% CI for mean is equal to point estimate is X bar plus minus. Okay. Before this, kalau you guna Z, you punya symbol is Z alpha over 2 kan? Times sigma over square root of n. But right now you are using T. So what is your alpha over 2? 0.025. 0.05. 0.05 kan? Betul? 0.05. Okay. Kalau symbol of T, you kena ada comma degree of freedom dia. Baru darab dengan S over square root of n. Ni cara writing method supaya senang you refer to the T table. So what is your degree of freedom? How to find degree of freedom? N minus 1, which is 30 minus 1 is 29. Okay. So letak comma 29. So you tahu nak refer to the table nanti. And then multiply with S over square root of n. Write the formula first. Then baru you substitute the value. What is your S bar? Negative 0.1 plus minus. Okay, how to refer to the T table? Cuba tengok T table. Refer T table. Mana table momentum? Ni. Find DF29 and probability 0.05. Cari the redundant value. Panjang sangat table ni. Ni. Degree of freedom 29 and then the probability is 0.05. So the intersection value is, boleh nampak ke? 1.699. Okay, boleh? That's how you refer to the T table. Dia mesti ada DF dia. So untuk T value, you tak ada common. Kalau 90%, 95%, 99% tu, dia akan ada different value according to your DF. Sebab kalau Z, dia tak ada DF kan? So, value dia sama je. Contoh untuk ni, kalau you calculate 90% tapi DF dia 16. Dia punya value lain kan? So, value tu is varies according to your DF. Okay? So, every time buat soalan, memang kena refer T table. Boleh? 1.699. So letaklah dekat situ 1.699. 1.699. Your S is 7.1 over square root of N is 30. So just kira macam biasa. Calculation sama. Cuma you guna T table instead of Z table. Negative 0.1 plus minus. Cari error dia and then dapat last answer. Negative 2.30 to 2.10 minutes. Okay, that is your last answer. Apa maksud negative 2.0 minutes tu? Maksudnya dia datang apa? Datang lambat ke datang awal tu? Awal 2 minit setengah. Negatif maksudnya kelas pukul 2 dia datang pukul 1.57.30. Ataupun lewat 2 minit 10 saat. Sikit je lah. Okay. So kalau question asked to interpret, we are 90% confident that the true average time of arrival to class for engineering student in SEM 3 is between your answer. Okay. So kalau soalan tanya interpretation, baru you write the full sentence. Okay, boleh? Senang kan? Berapa dah? 9.37. Okay, example 3. Okay, dekat example 3. The word given tu similar to example 2 kan? Which is from a random sample of 15 workers, the sample mean of 22.3 minutes with the standard deviation. So you tahu the standard deviation tu is comes from the sample. So that is the S value. Okay? And then make sure you write the formula first. Okay, formula is X bar plus minus T 0.025 for 95%. Degree of freedom 14 S over square root of N. Okay. So write the formula first. And then substitute the value. X bar is 22.3. T value, make sure you have the correct T. Kalau you have the correct T, S1 mark here. Okay. Meaning that you are referring to the correct value from the T table. Then substitute correct value into the correct formula, M1 marks. Markah method. And then find the answer, is it correct? 14.44 to 30.16. Yeah, so another A1 marks. Okay. And then basically calculation is 3 marks only. But kalau question ask about the interpretation, ni dia tak tanya kan? Tapi kalau question ask about the interpretation, make sure you interpret to state the percentage value. We are 95% confident that the true mean for a worker, the true mean the true mean time. Tambah sikit. The true mean time. Ambil balik ayat from the question tu. The population mean time a worker takes to assemble the new electronic component is between 14.44 to 30.16. Minutes ke apa ni? Minutes. Minutes. Okay. So either you are using the word true mean ataupun the population mean. Dua-dua referring to the value yang sama. Population mean and the true mean. Okay. Boleh? Tapi kena ada ni. We are 95% confident that the true mean time is between your answer. So kalau question ask about the interpretation, another 1 mark here. So satu lagi markah kat sini. Okay, boleh? Okay, different pattern. Cuba tengok example 1. Ni boleh explain je lah. Okay, example number 1. Ni different pattern of question. Yang tadi dia give you everything. Semua information dia bagi. Tapi untuk example 1, you need to find the X bar and S. Because the equation only give you summation of X and summation of X squared. So kena recall back chapter 1. Still guna chapter 1 jangan tinggalkan dia. Chapter 1 is calculate the unbiased. Cuba tengok word dia. Ni word dalam stats. Takut you confused. Estimate the unbiased estimate of mu and unbiased estimate of sigma squared. So you need to know unbiased estimate of mu tu is actually mean, sample mean, yes. Unbiased estimate of mu is actually the sample mean. Unbiased estimate of sigma squared is S squared. Sebab you nak estimate the population, you need the sample value. So the sample value yang you need to find is X bar and also S squared. So word ni kena tahu sebab biasa guna dalam soalan. Find the unbiased estimate of mean. Okay. So question sebenarnya tanya you X bar value. So how to find X bar? Summation of X over by total number of data that you have. So berapa total data? 20 sample. Okay. 20 sample given in the question. So kena recall back chapter 1. Kena tulis lah. Memang kena show the calculation to find the X bar. And S pun you kena memorize. Walaupun quiz 1 dah habis, tapi dalam quiz 3 ni ada juga some question yang guna formula chapter 1. Okay, boleh? So you akan guna this formula. Formula ni given, tapi the given formula tu for group data. So you just eliminate all the frequency. So you akan dapatlah this one. Summation of X squared, summation of X dalam bracket squared over N minus 1. Okay. So summation of X squared ada tak soalan bagi? Ada. So masukkan je. Sebenarnya you just substitute the value tapi make sure you are having the correct formula. Summation of X also given 172. And then N also given 20 and minus 1 is 19. Okay. So this is X bar, this is S squared. Okay. So kalau dapat this pattern of question kena extra careful sebab soalan seterusnya akan guna value yang you dapat. So kalau you dapat value yang salah, dia akan affect juga your next question salah juga. Okay. Hence, the word hence so referring to the previous calculation. Find a 99% CI for the mean mass of metal pieces from this machine assuming an approximately normal distribution. So you kena find the 99%. Ni buat macam biasa lah. Okay, ni madam just go through the solution Nanti you all try again as your homework. Okay, so 99% CI for mu. Macam biasa write the formula first. Your alpha over 2 is 0.005. Ni diagram dia. Kalau 99%, the tail side is 0.005. And then the degree of freedom is 19. How to find df? N minus 1. Okay, S over square root of N. So refer to the table. Make sure correct value of T. Walaupun you salah answer last, tapi kalau T tu betul, dapat 1 markah. Okay. Ni marks on the T value. 2.861 and then the rest tu use the previous calculation. S, make sure your calculation just now is S squared kan? So this one is S only. So you need to write as square root of 0.86. Okay, square root of 0.86. Kalau boleh, jangan terus buat. Sebab dalam quiz tu banyak yang salah jawapan last sebab you ambil sikit je decimal dia. Okay. Cuba you cari from your calculator. Square root 0.86 berapa? .92. Ada lagi tak? 7? 3. Okay. So kalau boleh, sebab daripada quiz tu madam 3-4. 7-4. 7-4. Okay. Kalau madam suggest you all terus tulis square root of 0.86 dalam your calculator. Supaya tak salah your value. Sebab kalau you dah buat square root of 0.86 kat sini, you cari S. Ada yang letak 0.92 ataupun 93 je, nanti dia akan effect your last answer. Quiz tu nanti kita akan discuss esok. Sebab ramai yang tak dapat markah answer lah sebab you dah round siap atas tu. Okay? Tak apa, jangan takut. Itu je. M1, substitute value into the correct formula. A1 last answer correct. Okay, boleh? So kalau nak selamat, tulis je as square root of 0.86 terus dalam your calculator. Tak payah nak round-round dah. Okay, that is your answer for B. Okay, part C. Part C is concept question. Would the interval be wider if 95% CI was calculated? Interval tu lagi besar ke tak kalau you calculate 95%? Yang tadi 99. Yang ni 99. Dapat 8.1 to 9.1. Kalau you kira 95, you rasa jadi apa dia punya interval? Semakin besar ke semakin kecil? Macam nak tahu besar ke kecil? Tengok formula. Formula tadi. Besar ke kecil? Kecil. Okay, tengok jawapan. No, the interval will be narrower. Kenapa narrower? Sebab kalau 99 dia jadi 95, what happen to your Z ataupun T? Decrease kan? So dia akan decrease. So bila dia decrease, what happen to your error? Kecil. Kalau error tu lagi kecil, interval pun lagi kecil lah. Lagi narrower. So the interval will be narrower. The highlighted word ni penting. Will be narrower because as confidence level decrease, T value will be decreased. So error also will be decreased. Dia kena ada continuous. As confidence interval decrease, T value decrease. That's why error pun decrease. Okay. So always have this formula to relate the relation tu. Kalau ni decrease, apa jadi dekat belah sini. Okay. Boleh?